Hi YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. It's Karen. Today I'm going to talk about weeks 1 and 2 home from the hospital. I touched on it briefly in my last video, but I really want to let you know what really happens in week 1 and 2. So just before I had surgery, what I did was I took this is the surgical manual that they give you in your surgery class prior to going. And I, like the crazy person I am, took a highlighter and highlighted everything that I felt important that I needed to know. So, you know, everything from what to expect to the phone numbers to call in case you needed assistance at your clinic, different extensions and everything. All the different supplements you needed to buy and the times and the quantities of what it was. It's very important that you know all of this and you have it all ready prior to coming home, because when you get home, that's the last thing you really want to do. So weeks 1 and 2 when you come home is a straight liquid diet. In my clinic, the one, you know, in Toronto, Michael Garron Hospital, we could start our chewable vitamins as soon as we were discharged. So, as you know, I choose the berry melts. So, I mean, this is just one kind. And I had them all ready in my handy dandy little vitamin container. And we are ready to go. You're also discharged with a couple of prescriptions. One is a painkiller, and the other one is stuff for your acid reflux that you have to take every day for 6 months. And hopefully they say after that 6 months you feel better. You don't have it anymore. That's what I'm hoping. You're also going to start to take your protein right away also. So anything from your Premier protein drinks to your unflavored protein or your vanilla or chocolate protein, you're going to start those right away. And you're going to be drinking water. You're going to be very full. It's going to be a different sensation than you're used to, this full feeling. You're going to continue to drink water, not this much probably, but sip water. Just keep sipping water. A lot of people say, you know, they're so full they can't sip water. You do not want to become dehydrated. You don't. You don't want to go back to the hospital and have to have IV. Just keep trying your best to sip, sip, sip. Not through a straw, just sipping water the best you can. And only eat and drink what is listed from your clinic. Don't try to be, well, let me try this, let me try that. Your pouch is the size of your thumb right now, friends, and it's healing, and they've cut through muscles, and they've cut, you know, you have to take it slow. Trust me, just take it slow. So things that I could eat were things like, or drink, excuse me, unsweetened apple juice, diluted. I don't like apple juice, so I don't have that to show you. Oatmeal. This is something that I just purchased for my family. It was an instant pack oatmeal. I thought for sure I couldn't have it until I looked that it said it has to be less than 10 grams of sugar. Well, the one cinnamon and spice is 9 grams of sugar. And it has to be liquid, like fall off your spoon, not thick, liquidy. I tried one, and it took me about an hour to eat, and that was maybe a quarter cup. And it was so filling, and it just sat like a ton of bricks inside, and I wasn't really a fan of that. So I didn't try that again. They suggest that you take 1 tablespoon, 1 mouthful, 1 tablespoon every 5 minutes. And I used different things that I used to help me were, a lot of people don't like this, but I used it, a baby spoon. It really helps to make sure that your portions are small and you don't shovel in food. You take 1 bite, put it down, and wait. And different, I bought little different containers too. This was from the dollar store. I think you're supposed to put ice cream in it, and it has a little spoon. Just different things to keep you entertained while you're eating your tiny bit of food. You know, different containers. You can also write with a dry erase marker on the lids of these containers if you didn't know. little FYI for you. And it comes right off, just so you can remember if you're going to freeze different things. Other things you can have. This is yogurt that I bought. Now, here in Canada, it's hard to find no sugar yogurt because that's what you're going to have, no added sugared yogurt. This one has 3 grams of sugar for 1/3 of a cup. Now, you're not going to have 1/3 of a cup. You're going to have maybe 1/4 of a cup. So obviously, excuse me, it's less sugar. And to add more protein in it, because this is only 4 grams of protein, I would add my unflavored protein powder. Yes, it did give it a different taste, but I would add some cinnamon in it to make it a little bit more palatable. Beverages, soups. You can have soups, cream soups. Now this is cream of mushroom that I eat. Strain it out in a mesh strainer, no chunks. And I froze them in little, seriously, this is it, little 1 ounce little plastic things and froze them. And when I wanted it, I took it out, put it under hot water, or nuked it in the microwave, and all was well. Another trick that you can use. I took the pudding, the sugar-free, fat-free pudding, and maybe not with this flavor, but with the butterscotch, I put a whole, instead of milk, I put a whole Premier Protein, the vanilla one with the butterscotch, and mixed it up and froze it in, what did I freeze it? No, I didn't freeze it. I just put it in the fridge in 1/2 cup size servings, and I wrote it on the lid in these handy dandy little things I got from Amazon. I don't know if you can buy anywhere else. And I called them pudding proteins. So if you use your apps or whatever you can to figure out your carbs and calories and everything, I'll tell you that in my next video, what I did. You put these, and it's so convenient. So you get your protein and you get some pudding, because food is just a little, everything's really sweet. So it's nice to have just a variety of sweet, I guess. Applesauce, unsweetened applesauce. This is what I got. Obviously, it has very little protein, no protein. So I added, unflavored protein. Other things. Oh, okay. So this is what my family makes fun of me for. I use a timer. And you might have heard the timer go off when I first started the video. Everything I do revolves around this timer because I don't want to feed myself really fast or use liquid really fast. I don't want to, I don't want to disrupt the pouch. So everything I do revolves around this timer, and it goes everywhere with me. Not outside the house. That's a little weird. So I set it for, when I first started, it was 5-minute increments. Because it says 1 tablespoon every 5 minutes. Now time would get away from me. I wouldn't know, or I would think it was time to eat and only a minute had passed. So invest in the whole dollar store timer, because it really does help. It helps to teach you to slow down. It helps to teach you to remind you when to eat next. You don't have to think. I don't want to think a lot. So that helps me, and I still use it. Okay, also use measuring cups. Don't eye things. You can't do it. You're not good at that. What else? Oh, you're going to have problems pooping. It's gross. It's true. I use the milk of magnesia every night so far. I know you shouldn't continue to use them because you don't want to get your body used to it, but so far I need it. And Benefiber. I don't think Benefiber helps me. I think it just gives me gas. So I'm not too sure about it. One other thing that I did for myself and my family was I took one of these whiteboard erasers. This is magnetic that I stick to my fridge, and I wrote out. I literally wrote out everything that I could have and I couldn't have. And so my family would know, so I would know exactly what I had to do. Now at our hospital, it gives you a handy dandy meal guide about, an example of what you can eat. So breakfast, a 1/4 cup of oatmeal, a 1/4 cup of milk, a tablespoon of protein powder. Add all that in, you're good to go. So I literally wrote out on the fridge, on this board, what was acceptable and what was not acceptable and how to do it. And I wrote out when I started it and when I finished it, so I knew that coming up to the certain date, I needed to get ready for the next phase. Okay, I think that's it. Let me give you my stats. So my highest weight, 233.5. My starting weight of OptiFast, I was 231. My first week on OptiFast, I weighed in at 221.2, so that was 10 pounds. Second week of OptiFast, I weighed in at 216.2, so that was 5 pounds, total of 15 pounds lost. Surgery day, I was 216. First week post-op, I lost 6 pounds. I was 210 pounds. Second week post-op, I'm now 205 pounds. So 5 pounds. So in total, from beginning of OptiFast till now, I've lost 26 pounds. And I feel better. I feel I look better. Not so much of a double chin anymore. But let's be realistic. We're healing. I'm still in pain some days. Today I'm a little bit more pain than I have been. I'm not really quite sure why. It's internal, as not really external where the incisions are. It's just kind of like internal, and I know it's healing. So, you know, I'm trying to walk to get my steps in. Fitbit is a great thing to have. It just challenges you to make sure you get up and walk. You got to get that gas out. You have to get that gas out. Walk, 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 walk as much as you can. Put a timer on. I did that too. I put the timer on. So every 15 minutes I would get up and I would walk, and it, you know, my dogs would think I was crazy. I was just walking around and around downstairs while watching TV. And then I'd go sit back down. I'd make sure I sipped and then, you know, walk again. And what else? Anything else I need to add? I don't think so. I think next video I'm going to show you the different apps that I use, talk to you about the different apps that I use, and just let you know how I'm doing. All right, take care.